I'm Steve Ferentz from the College of Nanoscale Science and Engineering at SEMICON West 2013 here in San Francisco. And with me is Dr. Michael Liehr, the CNSE Executive Vice President for Innovation and Technology. Thanks so much for being able to talk with me. The first question, really, you just took part in a really fascinating discussion, an R&D panel talking about where semiconductor technologies go from here. Talk to me about some of the main ideas you hope the audience, a packed house, took away, especially with New York in many ways leading the way under Governor Cuomo.
Yeah, I think the emphasis that I placed pretty early on is that our role in the state of New York is really to help economic development, in particular in the upstate New York area. And the point is, we're not just in Albany. I mean, we're in multiple locations across the state, and our mission really is to help see what we can do to bring high-tech jobs back to the state. But specifically to the panel that we had here, the main topic was, well, you know, you have all these research entities out there. I mean, has the landscape changed over the last 10 years, and if so, how? I think the conclusion that the panel sort of reached is, yes, I mean, you see a clear concentration to a few locations that have the resources, that have the financial wherewithal to provide a place where you can access a tool set that otherwise would be way too expensive for most entities to be able to access. And then perform research within that environment, either in a private setting or in a consortium setting. And all of our entities here sort of reflect both of these sides of that coin.
One of the points that I think many are always fascinated with is, where does technology go, especially CMOS running up against Moore's Law. Talk to me about your perspective on that, which you spoke to the audience about.
Yeah, I mean, the end of Moore's Law has been prematurely announced many decades ago. I mean, I still remember that I was on a task force 20 years ago where we looked at, you know, is Moore's Law going to end? And in a sense, I mean, Moore's Law is obviously not a law of physics, it's an economic law. So as long as we're able to bring down the cost of a particular chip, it will continue. What has stopped is literally the actual shrinking of the die, or of the chip that we're producing. For cost reasons. You will see a continuation of Moore's Law, you will see a continuation of CMOS. Engineers have this tendency of being pessimistic after a generation of two because they can't foresee anymore what they're going to have to do. When you get there, all of a sudden you have a path again. And I was making the statement that that path, in all likelihood, will still be a flavor of CMOS. There's such a huge ecosystem that's been put in place for us to dramatically change that and replace it with something totally different is not going to happen. It'll happen potentially very gradually at small instances within a chip, but it will not be, you know, a lock, stock, and barrel, a switch over to something else. I mean, it'll break the industry. So we'll continue to find a way to continue this path for probably 3 to 5 generations. Luke made the prediction about 5, so I mean, I can be had for that.
Okay, Dr. Michael Liehr, thanks so much for your perspective. We are here in San Francisco at SEMICON West 2013.